I got 2 super long pieces of catfish because I'm gonna cut them into halves. So I'll have 2 fillets that are fried, 2 that are blackened. For the actual fried fish itself, I just went ahead and bought this Louisiana style fish fry. For the batter of the fried fish, I am gonna have these 2 brown eggs. I'm gonna be using this Frank's Buffalo hot sauce, a little bit of heavy cream. Then also, is it really brunch if you don't have a cream sauce? And for the cream sauce, I'm also gonna go back in with that heavy cream. I have some chicken broth here and a few toppings that I pre-chopped. So this is fresh dill. I have some chopped green onions and also some red bell pepper. All right, so I'm just gonna set my little eye on medium heat. And first to my pot, I'm just gonna add some water. Now that my pot's boiling a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and add those grits. On top of the grits, I'm gonna go ahead and just salt the water with it. Now I'm just gonna stir all that together and then let it boil down for a while. So as your grits continue to boil, make sure that you stir them continuously just so it doesn't burn at the bottom of the pot. For the butter, probably gonna add in about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half, and it's gonna go right into the pot. For this recipe, I am making these grits plain and simple because I really want our flavors of that fried catfish and the cream sauce we're making to really shine through this dish. This is where you want to turn your heat down low and put a lid on your dish so now you can start on your fried fish while the grits are still slowly cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle this fish fry right into the box here. It smells pretty peppery, but it smells very good. All right, to my other box here, I'm gonna go ahead and crack those 2 eggs. On that, I'm gonna go ahead and pour in some of that buffalo sauce. A little heavy cream. Now a little bit of that Old Bay seasoning. And a sprinkle of this Tony's Creole Seasoning. I don't want to season this too much because the fish fry batter that we have already has seasoning in it, so be cognizant of that. You can always add extra salt and flavor at the end of your dish if you need to. Now I'm just going to take my fork and whisk it all together. So now for the catfish itself, since these are some pretty long pieces, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of cut them in half, so then I have 4 fillets. There's 1. So for the fried catfish, I'm gonna go ahead and just dunk it in our batter here, making sure that it's evenly coated on both sides. And into the flour mixture. So pretty much I continued to flip that piece of fish back and forth in my flour mixture, and I kind of used my gloves and hands to press flour down in the crevices that I felt like there was none. This pretty much makes sure that your fish is nice and fully crispy at the end of your fry. After making sure it was well coated, I went ahead and did the same process to the other fillet of fish, first coating it in the wet batter and then into the dry. This is how my fish looked after seasoning it with that fry batter, and now it's ready for the frying pan. Alright, so now for my fried fish, I'm going to go ahead and add some canola oil to my pan. You can really use whatever kind of oil, I just find that this one doesn't leave as much of an aftertaste behind it. So you really want to cover the bottom of the pan until you think it can cover majority, at least half of your fish. I'm going to start it off on high heat and then turn it down before the fish touches the pan. In goes the catfish. Then I always toss a little oil on top just to make sure it doesn't break apart while I'm trying to flip it or while it's cooking. Alright, after about 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and flip it on the other side. After about 2 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and check it. Another quick tip I had was to always remove your fried food out of the grease before it hits the color that you want, because for some reason I find when I put it out, it's darker than I thought it was in the pan. So just keep that in mind as well. But this looks good for me, so I'm going to take this one off of the heat as well and get to that cream sauce. Back to our grits, I'm gonna go ahead and add a sprinkle of this cheddar cheese, mix it all together, and then our grits will be good to go. For the sauce, I'm gonna start off with a little bit of butter here. Now that that's melted down a little bit, I'm gonna go in with some heavy cream. Whisk it together a little bit. Next, I'm going to go in with about 1.5 tablespoons of cream cheese. Creole seasoning. A little garlic powder. Some Old Bay. And mix that in a little bit. I'm gonna add a splash of that Frank's red buffalo sauce. A little Worcestershire sauce. Here's where I'm going to add those chopped red bell peppers that we had. A few green onions. And a little bit of that fresh dill. And I'm going to mix all of that in together as well. Another tip, guys, here is where you taste your sauce to make sure that it's exactly what you want. You can't just look at your sauce and say, oh, that looks pretty. So definitely give it a little taste and see what you need to add or reduce. And after that, our sauce will be done and we'll be ready to plate. Here is a last look of how those grits turned out. All right, so for plating, I'm gonna go ahead and with a large ladle amount and lay it down right on the plate like that. Also that piece of fried catfish. Now right on top of that is gonna go the sauce that we made. Now I'm going to top it off with some of those green onions, a little more of that fresh dill, and a lemon slice right here for freshness. I will be posting the blackened version of this catfish and grits on my channel very soon, so please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.